What's up, guys? It's Masshole MMA back with another video. I know it's been a while. I know that I abandoned this channel for a little bit, just for a little bit, because the UFC wasn't having anything entertaining for me to pick. Let's be real. We've had one of the worst stretches of events that I can remember since becoming a fan back in 2019. I mean, it's really never been this bad. It's really never been this bad. But we're back with a pretty solid card. So I'm excited enough to make a video about this. Let's get it started. Starting with Kareem Silva versus JJ Aldrich. I'm going to be real. I've only seen Kareem Silva fight once, and I've never seen JJ Aldrich fight before. Kareem Silva's pretty nice. I'm going to take her to win, but don't put this on your parlay. Moving on. We got Brian Battle versus Nursultan Ruziboyev. All right, so Battle coming off of a weight miss, coming off of a robbery win against Randy Brown, and Ruziboyev coming off a pretty solid decision win. But I will be taking Brian Battle here. I feel like him moving up to middleweight is going to do him well, both when it comes to his chin and when it comes to having that lighter man skill advantage. And I think that he's probably going to get the TKO in the second round here, to be honest. Like, when you watch the way Brian Battle fights and the way Ruziboyev fights, I feel like Brian Battle is a very durable fighter, and he's the type of guy that, like, he gets hit, yes, but he also hits you back harder probably than you hit him. So unless you're someone with insane power, which Ruziboyev does not have in his hands, he does not have insane power. Um, you kind of get beat. You kind of get beat, and unless you like stink it up in the clinch like Randy Brown was doing and stuff. But aside from that, um, in this matchup, this is just a very bad matchup for Ruziboyev in my opinion. I mean, although he's been looking good recently, he's been looking great. And he's one of the most followed fighters on social media. I mean, he has an insane following on there. Check him out on Instagram. He has like 3 point something million, four, something like that. Insane numbers. But I'm not really taking that. I'm not really taking the height advantage that he has over Brian Battle. Because Brian Battle has the reach advantage anyways. You get me? Anywho, I'm taking Brian Battle to win this fight by second round TKO. Second round TKO. This probably will not be going the distance in my opinion. If it does, I would be surprised. And I think that would be a testament to Ruziboyev in this case because I don't really see him lasting the distance with Brian Battle here. Coming off of a full training camp, moving up a division, he's not going to have problems with the weight cut anymore. I think he's going to go out there and just knock him out in the second round. That's my prediction. Moving on. We got Edson Barboza versus Dakar Klose. Man, what a matchup here. Edson Barboza, haven't seen this guy fight in a while. He's very old. Still extremely in shape, though. Still extremely in shape. Gotta give him that much. He's been in the game for a minute. He's one of the only like real OGs left in the UFC. So I'll forever appreciate them for that. These guys are both coming off losses. Um, I will say, Klose's loss was a lot worse than Barboza's loss. And for that reason, I feel like when it comes to Edson Barboza, if you're good enough to be like even near the rankings currently in the lightweight division, you can beat Edson Barboza. That's a very winnable fight for anyone even near the rankings currently. He's just diminished, he's old now, and age catches up to anyone. But in my opinion, Dakar Klose is not Drakkar, sorry. He's not someone that's really good at all. I don't see anything good in his game. I mean, let's go over this. Like his significant strikes length per minute are technically higher than Barboza's. But you gotta watch the tape, man. You gotta watch the tape. Cause this guy doesn't seem it none of his shots have any like power in them, it seems like. Any bad intention. You get me? He doesn't have a ground game at all. So I really don't see how this guy is going to beat Edson Barboza. As Edson Barboza is a far better striker than this guy. Far better at striking. And this guy poses zero threat to bring it to the ground. I seriously don't know how he would win. I mean, the only way he would win is if this goes to a very shitty decision. Robbery, in my opinion. Give me Edson Barboza by a pretty solid decision. I think this is going to be... I don't think that Edson Barboza has the ability to get insane finishes anymore. I mean, he's old. Age catches up to you. But I do think he's going to get the decision win here, and I think he's going to get it pretty clearly. 30-27, maybe a 29-28. Moving on. Chase Hooper versus Alexander Hernandez. Chase Hooper, man. I'm just going to take a moment to talk about how good this guy has been. He's been phenomenal. Phenomenal. I can't speak. This guy's been insane. I mean, right now, I'd take Chase Hooper to beat almost any unranked lightweight currently. I'd take him to beat almost any unranked lightweight currently. I mean, this kid's been insane. His grappling's been insane, and his striking has been improving like crazy. His striking, sorry, I have a mosquito bite. I'm just itching my leg right now. But his striking has gone through some serious improvements within his last few fights. Watch the tape. I'm not joking. Watch it. Because I really think this guy could be a menace in the lightweight division. I mean, this guy, honestly, I see him getting a finish tonight. On Saturday. I see him getting a finish on Saturday. I see him getting round 1, maybe round 2 sub on this guy because he's been amazing. I think he really deserves a shot at the rankings next. So give me Chase Hooper by round 1 or 2 submission for Saturday night. Moving on. Jessica Andrade versus Lupi Godinez. Jessica Andrade is old. I'm picking Lupi Godinez. I'm sorry, I don't really watch the WMMA fights at all. So yeah. Moving on. Gerald Meerschaert versus Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. Man, GM3. Well, I was on the odds. What a man. You know, I'll never forget GM3. He's always been great. He's always been fighting. I mean, he's gone up against a lot of, like, really notable guys in his career. But I have him getting knocked out round 1 or 2 tonight. I mean, on Saturday. Actually, no, I won't do 1 or 2. Round 2 or 3 TKO for Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. I mean, Gerald Meerschaert got knocked down by Reiner de Ritter. He got knocked down by RDR. RDR is an amazing fighter, but him knocking you down with a punch of all things. I mean, RDR, it's not like he's this guy who poses like a serious power threat at all. He's a very good fighter. I'm not shitting on RDR one bit, but he's never been known to have power in his hands like that. And he knocked down Gerald Meerschaert in their fight. He got knocked out by Khamzat. I mean, I'm not putting that against him either that much, but again, he's getting knocked down and knocked out by guys that don't really have much of a like reputation for having that sort of power. Give me the guy who has a reputation for being a good striker and having some power in his hands. Give me Mikhail Oleksiejczuk to knock this guy out round 2 or 3. I think this is a pretty easy pick to be making. I mean, yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty solid watch, but I do think we're witnessing the downfall of Gerald Meerschaert. This might be one of his last fights, so enjoy it, people. Enjoy it while GM3 lasts. Moving on. We got Bobby Green versus Diego Ferreira. Ooh. Another person who I think is washed. Bobby Green, he's definitely on his downfall. Diego Ferreira, I know that he lost bad his last outing. I know that he got controlled nearly the entire fight. But listen, Bobby Green doesn't have grappling like that. And if you check out Diego Ferreira's striking, dude, this guy, how do I explain it? This guy's striking kind of like, this guy's a nice volume striker. It's very satisfying to watch Diego Ferreira fight. And last time he came out, I did pick him to win. That was retarded, but it's fine. But because I also thought that he had good scrambles too. This guy's a good fighter. I mean, Diego Ferreira's a very solid fighter. And Bobby Green, he used to be solid, but I don't see him outdoing Diego Ferreira in the striking, to be honest. I really don't. I really don't see him outdoing him in any sort of grappling either. So, give me Diego Ferreira to win this fight. Give me it by second to third round finish. We'll say a third round finish here. Third round finish for Diego Ferreira. Actually, wait. I take that back. Give me Diego Ferreira by decision here. I don't think he has it in him. He hasn't shown us anything to show that he would have it in him to finish Bobby Green currently. And he is pretty old himself. So I won't pick him to get a finish here. I'll pick him to get the easy 30-27 decision victory over Bobby Green this weekend. Moving on. On to the main card. Tim Elliott, Kai Asakura. Tim Elliott, he's kind of the gatekeeper at this point of the flyweight division. I mean, Kai Asakura coming off of a loss where he got dominated against Alexandre Pantoja. I mean, he didn't really even get much of a chance at all. He just got fucked. Let's put it like how it was. He just got fucked. So, I'm going to give, honestly, I'm picking Kai Asakura here. I do think he's going to knock out Tim Elliott. I will invest in the Kai Asakura aura that he had coming in from Ryzen. I do think he's that guy still. And I think that the UFC throwing him into Alexandre Pantoja that soon was a very big mistake. They should have let him get at least 1 or 2 fights before going up against Alexandre Pantoja. And I think, first of all, I think he's good enough to, fight up the rankings and get another title shot. Let me make that clear. I think that it would have been a much more hyped up fight if he was to get a couple fights in to show that he is the real deal in the UFC as well, not just Ryzen. But anywho, that's the past. This is the present. I'm taking him to beat Tim Elliott because anyone has beaten Tim Elliott, and unless Kai Asakura is really shit and Ryzen is really shit, which I don't think Ryzen is really shit. I don't think it is. That is why I'm taking Kai Asakura to beat Tim Elliott here. Give me a round 1 KO. I think this is going to be a bonus getting KO here for Kai Asakura. I think it might be a pretty insane KO. I feel like he has it in him this time. Yeah. All right, moving on. Jared Cannonier versus Michael Page, man. Jared Cannonier is one of my favorite fighters. He's one of everyone's favorite fighters, I feel like. Anyone who actually watches the sport really, really loves Jared Cannonier. But I have to take Michael Page here. I fell into the trap of picking Sharaputin against Michael Page last time because I thought that he had it on defeat. Guys, no one has it on defeat like Michael Page does. I just want to put that out there. No one has it on defeat like Michael Page does. The only way you can beat this guy is if you mix it up. Mix it up. I don't see Jared Cannonier mixing it up because that was never something he did throughout his career at all. I would be very happy to see Jared Cannonier get the win. I would be so happy, so much happier than Michael Page. Not that I dislike Michael Page or anything, but I just like Jared Cannonier a lot more. With that being said, though, I see a decision win by Michael Page here, just inching him up the rankings. You know what I mean? Just a classic Michael Page fight where he's just gonna make Jared Cannonier look like a fool, get a couple of highlights, and call it a day. I don't see him getting a finish against Jared Cannonier. Jared Cannonier is a pretty tough guy, and I don't think Michael Page possesses the power to put away Jared Cannonier in this fight. I do think that Jared Cannonier, he's definitely still has some gas in the tank, especially after his last fight against RoboCop. I mean, he showed us he has gas in the tank, but this was a horrible fight to take, in my opinion. This was just a horrendous fight to take for Jared Cannonier. This is a horrible matchup for him. Unless he's magically learned how to grapple in this training camp, I don't think he's going to get the win. So, give me Jared Cannonier. Give me MVP to win this fight. Moving on. Jeff Neal versus Carlos Prates. Okay. Interesting. We saw some holes in Carlos Prates' game. Now, with that being said, this is going to be a 3-round fight. And I like Carlos Prates' chances so much more in a 3-round fight than a 5-round fight. It means he's not going to really have to worry about going into later rounds and saving his cardio, which I felt like watching his fight against Ian Gary, he was really worrying about gassing out at the end, and he wasn't letting his hands go early enough. And when he did start letting his hands go, he was tagging up Ian Gary. Let's be real with it. Like, I don't know why people are glazing Ian Gary's win over this guy like crazy, but he was putting it on him, right? I feel like if Carlos Prates works his way back up, gets a couple 5-round fights in, and learns how to fight in a 5-round fight, I think he's smoking Ian Gary. But that's a conversation for the future, because we're not there yet. Anywho, I mean, we all know Carlos Prates' weakness. That's him going on the back foot. It's obvious at this point. But, Jeff Neal's also a very solid guy. With that being said, though, I am taking Carlos Prates here, getting a knockout. I'm taking him round 1 knockout. I'm investing in the fighting nerds again because, I mean, Carlos Prates coming off of a loss like that, that's a loss that you don't want to be. You don't want that to be how you're looked at, you know? Especially with the amount of aura that he had going into that fight. He's basically lost it all. And I think that Carlos Prates is going to be hungry to put out a performance to show that he is still that guy. And he has a lot more to fight for than Jeff Neal currently does. I mean, Jeff Neal, we already know he's never getting a title for the rest of his career. And I don't think that he has the same drive as Carlos Prates does. Even though his fight was close with Ian Gary compared to Carlos Prates' fight with Ian Gary, I do think he's going to take the L here. I do think he's going to take the L. Because Carlos Prates won't be trying to clinch up like Gary did. It's going to be straight hands with him. And Jeff Neal might land on Carlos Prates. But we're not thinking of what's going to happen to Jeff Neal when Carlos Prates lands back on him. I don't think it's going to be pretty for Jeff Neal. I think he will get knocked out because Carlos Prates' power at the welterweight division is still insane. He's literally slumped out Neil Magny in the first round. Something that Ian Gary couldn't do. He couldn't do that to Neil Magny if he wished he could. And man, I'm just taking Carlos Prates. Round 1 KO. I'm thinking he's gonna get a bonus here. I think he's gonna make a statement. Moving on. Oops. Lerone Murphy versus Aaron Pico. I think this is going to be very, very dominant. I don't know. I don't know about dominant, but very clear at least. Very clear decision to Lerone Murphy. Aaron Pico, I mean, look at the competition he's been fighting in Bellator. They're all basically cans. They're all like people with shitty records. The guys he's lost to aren't that good either. I don't really see how this guy could beat Lerone Murphy. I mean, of course, he could knock him out, but Lerone Murphy is just on a different level than the Bellator guys that Aaron Pico's faced. I mean, you put Lerone Murphy in Bellator, he's probably becoming a triple champ, even though Bellator doesn't fucking exist. My point, Lerone Murphy is insanely skilled as a fighter. As boring as he is, he's an insanely skilled fighter. If this guy didn't get chinned by Josh Emmett, if this guy was so successfully able to make a game plan against Josh Emmett to not get chinned, not even like get wobbled, what's gonna make us think that Aaron Pico's gonna do that? I don't think he is. I straight up don't think he is. I don't think he fucks with Lerone Murphy at all on the ground. And I think it's just going to be a boring decision here. So give me Lerone Murphy by decision tonight. Moving on to the main event. Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. And I'm about to make a very grass is green statement here. If this goes past the first round, I feel like Khamzat is not winning. That's just the truth in my opinion. I don't see Khamzat Chimaev beating Dricus du Plessis in a 5-round fight. Dricus can just keep going, and I mean, we've seen proof that Khamzat can't. At the same pace as his first round pace. With that being said, though, fuck it. I'm taking Dricus du Plessis. I think he's strong enough to survive the first round against Khamzat. If he does do his blitz tactic like he always does, I think he's strong enough to withstand that first round, go into the second round, and just go at it. And I do think that if Khamzat takes a more laid-back approach, which he's never done before, but if he does, I don't see laid-back Khamzat being able to beat DDP either. I really don't. I truly don't. So this might come back to bite me if Khamzat fucking subs him in the first round. But give me DDP by 3rd or 4th round finish. I'm going to go DDP 4th round finish, lock that shit in. Because let's look at the Kamaru Usman fight that Khamzat have. Kamaru Usman off the fucking couch. Basically, arguably got a draw against Khamzat Chimaev. Was able to get out of the first round against Khamzat Chimaev. And then was able to very well duke with him the next 2 rounds. And arguably win the next 2 rounds. I think that Dricus du Plessis, coming off of a full training camp, is going to be stronger than Kamaru, is going to have better cardio than Kamaru, is going to be more dangerous in that fight than Kamaru Usman as well, which is another factor that we don't really think about. Dricus Du Plessis is a dangerous fighter, man. I mean, don't let his fights with Strickland fool you. This guy gets finishes. And he, as he said many times before, this guy literally is going in there to kill his opponent. I mean, I could just keep going. I don't want to sound like I'm blazing, but I truly think I don't see Khamzat Chimaev winning this weekend. So give me Dricus Du Plessis by fourth round finish. We'll put it at finish. I don't think he's gonna sub Khamzat, so give me Dricus Du Plessis by fourth round TKO. I think he's just gonna be too much for Khamzat in those later rounds. If it goes to the later rounds, I think he's gonna be too much for Khamzat, and it's not gonna be a close fight at that point. So yeah, that's my picks for this card. I'm happy to be back, and yeah, see you guys next time. Peace out, Masshole family. I forgot my little outro line, but it's fine. Peace.